Your emotions are making you poor, keeping you single, and destroying your future. And everyone around you is too polite to tell you the truth. Every time you lose your temper, you lose opportunities. Every time you react defensively to feedback, you push away people who could help you grow. Every time you let circumstances control your mood, you broadcast to the world that you're not ready for greater responsibility. The people who succeed aren't more talented than you. They're not luckier than you. They're simply more controlled than you. While you're having emotional outbursts about things you can't change, they're calmly building the life you wish you had. There was once a master sculptor who created the most beautiful statues in all of Italy. People would travel from distant lands just to see his work. One day, a young apprentice approached him with a question that had been burning in his heart. "Master," he said, "how do you create such perfect beauty from these rough, ugly stones?" The old sculptor smiled, picked up his chisel, and gave an answer that changed everything the young man understood about life. "My son," he said, "I don't create anything. The beautiful statue was always there. I simply remove everything that doesn't belong." This is the secret of true control. This is the foundation of a life where you react to nothing and control everything. You see, most people believe that control means forcing the world to bend to their will. They think it means manipulating circumstances, pushing people around, or demanding that life deliver exactly what they want when they want it. But that's not control at all. That's desperation dressed up as power. Real control begins with understanding a fundamental truth that will transform how you see every challenge, every setback, every difficult person in your life. The truth is this: you already have everything you need to control your experience of life. Like the beautiful statue hidden in the rough stone, your power to control everything that matters is already there. You just need to remove everything that doesn't belong. But what doesn't belong? What needs to be chiseled away? The answer is simple but profound: your reactions, your automatic responses, your emotional hijackings, your knee-jerk behaviors that give away your power to anyone and anything outside of you. Most people live as prisoners of their circumstances, and they don't even know it. They wake up each morning and hand over the keys to their emotional state to whatever happens to them that day. If the traffic is bad, they're angry. If their boss is in a good mood, they're happy. If the spouse says something critical, they're hurt. If the stock market goes up, they're confident. If it goes down, they're worried. They become thermometers instead of thermostats, constantly adjusting their internal temperature based on the external environment. I want to tell you about a man I knew who learned this principle the hard way. His name was Marcus, and he was a successful businessman who owned 3 restaurants in the city. He worked 18-hour days, 7 days a week, building his empire. He was proud of his success, and he measured his worth by the size of his bank account and the respect he commanded in his community. Then 2008 happened. The economic crisis hit like a tsunami, and within 6 months, Marcus lost everything. All 3 restaurants closed. His house went into foreclosure. His marriage fell apart. He found himself living in a small apartment, working as a delivery driver, wondering how his life had collapsed so completely. Number one, Marcus was consumed with anger and bitterness. He raged against the government, the banks, the economy, even God. He blamed everyone and everything for his situation. But one night, sitting alone in his empty apartment, something shifted inside him. He realized that even though he had lost everything external, he still had something that no one could take away from him: his ability to choose. That's when Marcus understood the mirror principle. Everything that was happening around him was simply reflecting what was happening inside him. His external chaos was a mirror of his internal disorder. His financial collapse was reflecting his spiritual bankruptcy. His broken relationships were showing him his broken relationship with himself. The mirror principle works like this: your external world is always a reflection of your internal world. If there's chaos around you, there's chaos within you. If there's peace around you, there's peace within you. If you're surrounded by drama, you're creating drama. If you're surrounded by opportunity, this isn't some mystical concept. This is practical psychology. When you're internally agitated, you make poor decisions. You see threats where there are none. You respond to situations with fear instead of wisdom. You push away the very people and opportunities that could help you. Your internal state literally creates your external reality. But when you're internally calm and centered, everything changes. You see clearly. You make better decisions. You attract the right people and opportunities. You respond instead of react. You become like that master sculptor, carefully removing only what doesn't belong, revealing the beauty that was always there. Marcus discovered this truth not through reading books or attending seminars, but through the pain of losing everything. He realized that he had been reacting to life instead of responding to it. He had been giving away his power to every external circumstance, every market fluctuation, every customer complaint, every family argument. So he made a decision that changed everything. He decided to stop reacting and start responding. He decided to stop being a thermometer and start being a thermostat. He decided to stop letting his external world control his internal world and start letting his internal world. Within 2 years, Marcus had rebuilt his life completely. Not just financially, though he did become successful again. More importantly, he had rebuilt his character. He had become a different person. He had learned to control the only thing that anyone can truly control, himself. This is where real power lives. Not in controlling other people, not in controlling circumstances, not in controlling outcomes. Real power lives in controlling your response to other people, to circumstances, to outcomes. When you master this, when you truly understand that you can react to nothing and still control everything that matters, you become unstoppable. The statue was always there in the stone. Your power is already there within you. The question is not whether you have it. The question is whether you will choose to use it. Now that you understand the mirror principle, you must grasp the fundamental difference between two types of people in this world. There are those who set the temperature, and there are those who merely read it. There are thermostats, and there are thermometers. Which one are you? A thermometer has no power of its own. It simply reflects whatever temperature surrounds it. Put it in hot water, and it reads hot. Put it in cold air, and it reads cold. It has no ability to change its environment. It's completely at the mercy of external conditions. Sound familiar? This is how most people live their entire lives. Thermometer, people wake up and immediately check their phones to see what kind of day they're going to have. If the news is bad, their day's ruined. If someone posts something negative on social media, their mood crashes. If their boss seems stressed, they become anxious. If their spouse is quiet at breakfast, they assume something's wrong with their marriage. They're constantly reading the temperature of their environment and adjusting accordingly. But a thermostat is completely different. A thermostat doesn't read the temperature. It sets the temperature. It has an internal setting, and regardless of what's happening around it, it works to create the environment it's been programmed for. When the room gets too cold, it activates the heating system. When it gets too hot, it triggers the cooling. The thermostat maintains its setting no matter what. Let me tell you about Captain Sarah Chen, an airline pilot who understood this difference in a way that saved 300 lives. On a Tuesday morning flight from Denver to Chicago, her aircraft encountered the worst turbulence of her 20-year career. The plane was being tossed around like a toy in a hurricane. Passengers were screaming. Flight attendants were struggling to stay on their feet. Warning lights were flashing throughout the cockpit. A co-pilot was gripping his seat, his knuckles white with fear. "Captain," he shouted over the noise, "should we declare an emergency?" Sarah looked at him calmly and said, "The airplane is designed for this. We are trained for this. We will handle this. Her voice was steady. Her hands were steady. While everyone around her was reacting to the turbulence, Sarah was responding to it. She made precise adjustments to the flight path, communicated clearly with air traffic control, and kept her internal thermostat set to calm professionalism because she refused to let the external chaos control her internal state. She was able to guide that aircraft safely through the storm